many Christians are stuck at this point. Many people, in fact. And the other thing is, what is the requirements, to be a child of God? And I want to go over this because this is not only something that I can preach to you, it's something that I'm practicing, something that I'm living. And this week, God allowed me to go away. And I was watching a movie with my family, Gladiator. I've seen the movie before, but something stood out. The emperor doesn't want to hand over his seat to his son, and the dad's busy dying. So he wants to hand it over to Maximus, his right-hand man who handles the battle, because he's got the qualities that it takes to lead the people in the empire. So, the emperor is busy telling his son, I'm going to hand it over to Maximus. And the son is hurt and he's disturbed. And he says, I knew when you told me that I needed these qualities to become an emperor, that I didn't have them. And he said, but I've got these other qualities. And it was ambition, it was passion. But, in order for him to look after the empire, he needed to have integrity, honor, valor, and things like that. And the reason why it stood out to me is because I meet a lot of Christians, good people, and they've got the intellectual side, they've got the knowledge, they've got discernment, they've got the gifts, and they're wonderful people in a sense. They do good, but a lot of them don't have this quality, and the quality is humility, love, forgiveness. They don't encourage people around them. It's like, I'm saved, so I don't care about anyone else. And the sad thing is, I find that I meet a lot of them, and a lot of them look at me and they don't understand me, and I look at them and I don't understand them. And I'm going to tell you that I don't want you to be lukewarm. I don't want you to be intellectual, because a lot of people, Christianity's up here. It's up here, but it's not here. It's not in the heart. And I don't want you to ever one day, get to heaven and Christ says, I don't know you. You were just a clanging cymbal. You had all these gifts and all these talents, yet you never loved people. You never displayed affection and kindness and loving compassion, and you never cared about people. I never want you to be in that place where Christ denies you and you think you're saved, but you're not. And the reason why I said I'm practicing and living this is because I've gone through some hard times too. I've been hurt bitterly by people. I've been disappointed by people, and I had to love them through it. And if I had to be pressed and crushed, and I had to love these kinds of people, and I had to go and preach to people who are murderers, and I had to pray for people who I didn't know them, okay? But I had to pray for them, and I had to sacrifice. It was an adjustment. But God did something in that. He helped me to love people more. He helped me to love myself more. And then tonight, I was busy chatting with my sister. I met her for the first time after 37 years from my dad's first marriage. And I was telling her about some things about my dad, who's an elderly man. And I was just telling her, it's funny, when he lived with me, he did all these things, and I couldn't understand why he did it. And I got to hear her perspective tonight, and I got to hear a different side. And you know what? I realized that I've been quite hard on my dad for many years. Even though I'm still trying to build a relationship with him. It's difficult because he's very caught up in the Jehovah's Witness doctrine, has been for the past 30, 40 years. And he swears by it. But when she told me the story, my heart instantly just softened even more towards him, because I realized I didn't grow up in the war. I didn't see the things that he saw. I didn't have to steal from people to survive. I wasn't starved as a child, but my dad was. And the thing is, we don't know what people are going through. We don't know their upbringing. We don't know people's story. But Christ knows their story, and Christ has asked us just to love people, to be humble, to be forgiving, to be compassionate, to be kind. And yes, I'm going to say this boldly. Many people, you've got it figured out on the one hand, but you don't have it figured out on the other hand. And that is the part where you and I need to love people. And those are the qualities it's going to take to be a child of God, to stand before God and to say to God, I used what you gave me and I multiplied it. You see, the kingdom of God, it's about loving people. It's about following rules and guidelines and laws and stuff, but the ultimate thing is love is the command. It's the law. Everything hangs on love. And if you are not going to be in a position where you're going to humble yourself and you're going to let God teach you how to love people, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss everything that Christ stood for and is still standing for today, and everything that is expected of us. And I'm beginning to learn this now. And I'm beginning to realize that I might be irritated with someone. I might hate what they do, but I still have to have love towards that person no matter how hard it is. And my journey has been a journey of loving people, even though I feel in my heart that they didn't deserve it. Christ says differently. They do. So we need to love people. And I hope this message has blessed you.